Welcome, my name is Matt, aka Road Jedi 88. We are getting into Star Wars, guys, with heroes, mods, Garazeb, Orrelios. It's hard for me not to want to say Orrelios. I'm not even Mexican. But I do. But living in Texas with the Mexican Spanish influence strongly around me. Anyways, so Zeb is a character originally from the TV series Rebels, part of the Phoenix Team Squad. We got a cameo piece of him in season 3 of The Mandalorian, and then apparently he's expected to come out in the Mandalorian Grogu movie, which, as I pointed out, I do struggle a great deal with the post-Return of the Jedi Disney Star Wars, because they disrespect every book that was ever written for my generation of Star Wars. But, so, I mean, The Mandalorian, they screwed up big with the Book of Boba Fett. The Mandalorian, luckily there was plenty of stuff I could work around in humor. Given what I grew up knowing and reading of the books from the George Lucas era generation of Star Wars, which is where the majority of Star Wars storytelling was ever in, was largely in the books. More in the books than that ever was in the movies and the games. The Mandalorian actually provided opportunities to not be completely ruined. Plenty of ways to humor around what they tried tapping in from the Bounty Hunter Wars book trilogy. There were elements of it they did kind of mess with it. The worst, though, was when they did the Book of Boba Fett. But with Din Djarin, he's got a lot of work around here, to humor with and work with. So, luckily, okay. But now that we're seeing in the trailer previews for The Mandalorian Grogu, that they're kind of tying in the direction of what the sequel trilogy screwed up about Star Wars. And we know right now Ahsoka is outside the galaxy. If you were to follow the New Jedi Order book series, you would know, coming from outside the galaxy, it was Yuuzhan Vong's and not Night Sisters that invaded the galaxy. Disney really needs to scrap the sequel trilogy, teach their producers how to read a book, and then show them the New Jedi Order book series, as well as the Young Jedi Knights book series, because those were the books that were given to them, spoon-fed to them practically, as the preluding story for them to work off of for their sequel trilogy, and they never did. It was like a baby refusing to eat the broccoli. But anyways, I know I've always got something snarky to say about Disney and sequel trilogies and Book of Boba Fett, but they set themselves up for it. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to throw it out there. They set themselves up for it. And that was even after my generation warned them that we were uncomfortable with them having their hands on Star Wars, right as they were signing for it. But Zeb is expected to make an appearance in The Mandalorian and Grogu. I want to see it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I am nervous as hell about the direction they're taking it, because if it's going anywhere in the direction of the sequel trilogy, it's gonna bomb, and they're gonna they will have fueled more fire, throwing more fuel to the fan war fire that they say they want to put out. I mean, they really need to question if what they're about to release is worth releasing. And they damn well need to not release their episode 10, The New Jedi Order, because my generation is going to call them out about that already being a book series from the late 1990s to the 2000s. You can't be doing that. You think you're covering up a mess, you're not. You're just making it worse. And I'm speaking out to Disney on this one. They claim they want to fix the fan war problem. They're about to make it worse if they're not careful. But breathe. And we're going into Zeb. If you go to my first video, in my mods playlist in my channel, Zeb is, I definitively explained in that video the different types of characters. Zeb is a tank. So a tank has two different types of functions, but its primary function is to be protective. There's two different approaches in how it can protect. It's the thing. It's easy to think, well, the tank is the vehicle in the military. Okay, what is it? If you got a fish, what is your fish sitting in? It's sitting in a fish tank, right? It's a tank. It's something that protects. You put something in it and it protects it. It's basically what that is. And you put Zeb in a squad. The members in the squad, he's going to look after. He's going to protect them. He's a big dude. He's got muscles. He's got strength. He can take the hit. But the other feature about it, something that can take a hit, you don't want to be hit by it. It's going to hurt. Attackers can, they got skills in fighting, but they can't punch the same way a tank can. They're not going to have the same kind of punch a tank will. So that is the other feature in how it protects. It will retaliate if it needs to. So Zeb, the other feature in my video, I point out the various different types of mods and their definition. Critical chance. So the online website swgoh.gg recommends modding Zeb with critical chance and health, which is a little unusual because a lot of times when we see critical chance, they want to put critical damage with them. That's usually when it's an attacker. This is, again, he's a tank. So we're kind of allowing him to be able to have an attacker, be able to attack, take his strength as a tank and be able to attack with it is what we're doing. The healing part, the health part, is we are allowing him to be able to stand his ground with that. Now, if you want to, kind of like what we did with Garazeb, is you can maybe go, instead of going with that, trade out those health mods with tenacity. We rarely see tenacity recommended, but for a tank character like Zeb, with the kind of function they have, now Zeb is not a leader. He doesn't lead anything, but he's part of the Rebels and part of the Phoenix. He will back them up in any situation that they do. Tenacity, basically what that means is not easily torn apart, is what that means. So, you're basically, with tenacity, you're doubling his defense features, his ability to take a hit. Well, you throw tenacity on instead of this health, he'll be able to take more hits. Now, even in the tips here, it says critical damage and health. The online website, swgoh.gg, recommended health instead of tenacity. But if you think about it, tenacity would be just as effective, probably if not more so, than the health part, in my opinion. I'm not saying health is a bad idea. It works. It'll be just as good. But with tenacity, you give him the ability to take more hits than the health. Health, he's just kind of looking after his squad with that. So that is Garazeb, Zeb, Orrelios, mods for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comments, questions, suggestions down below. And thank you for following. May the Force be with you.